Where will you be in the 24th century?
Space, the final frontier.
Come explore the worlds above and beyond as E goes inside Star Trek.
Fascinating.
Welcome to E's Inside Look at Star Trek. I'm Michael Castner. And this, in case you don't know, is a phaser, the weapon of choice in the 24th century. Do you feel phased? You'll lose your appetite in a couple of minutes, trust me. Anyway, the 24th century belongs to Star Trek. The universe we're about to enter at warp speed is a space of limitless imagination and, above all, hope for the future of humankind. Sounds like pretty lofty ideals for a movement spawned by an unassuming sci-fi series from the 1960s. Well, in the next hour, our prime directive is to show you why the Star Trek phenomenon is about an awful lot more than just pure entertainment.
The cast of Star Trek.
It all started out in 1966 when 7 space-age pioneers were transported into America's living room via the small screen.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is Hollywood's Mount Rushmore.
This event launched an international phenomenon that has become one of the most successful and enterprising vehicles in entertainment history.
Star Trek presents a very optimistic view of the future, and I think that that appeals to a lot of people. Particularly back in the 60s when you had the nuclear threat and the Cold War, and people didn't know if they were going to survive another day, and the Cuban Missile Crisis, and here's a show that says 300 years from now, everything's going to be great.
Star Trek's creator, the late Gene Roddenberry, recognized the need for hope in uncertain times. His vision captured the imagination of millions and found a place in the heart of American popular culture. It's a vision that has spanned nearly 30 years.
Gene Roddenberry was the force that created Star Trek. His creative abilities and his desire for perfection all made Star Trek so much of what it is.
As Gene Roddenberry said to me when I was auditioning for the show years ago, he said, "Jonathan, in the 24th century, there will be no hunger and there will be no greed." It was a wonderful image that has stuck with me ever since.
During its 3 seasons, the original series never climbed above 50th place in the ratings. NBC tried to cancel it 3 times and finally did so in 1969. But something magical happened shortly after the series went into syndicated reruns. The fans united, and the Star Trek phenomenon was born.
We are part of the culture, and that if you say something's logical, people have a sense of Star Trek about that. And if you do this, people understand it has something to do with Star Trek. If you talk about pointed ears, you're talking about something that has to do with a character that I played on Star Trek. If you see a bumper sticker that says, "Beam me up, Scotty," we know what we're talking about. It's part of the culture, it's part of the language.
The 6 Star Trek films have grossed over $470 million in domestic release alone. There are countless books on the various Star Trek incarnations, and Trek merchandising has turned into a multi-million-dollar venture.
It's really absolutely phenomenal. I heard the figure that Paramount made $1 billion on what they call the franchise of Star Trek. So to be a part of that is kind of incredible.
There's no denying that Star Trek is successful, but what may remain a mystery is its longevity and generational appeal.
People need something like Gene's vision, the prime directive, that philosophy. It's an extraordinary philosophy. It's held up after how many years? People still can watch an episode and hear the philosophy of the tolerance and all of that and go, yeah, that's too bad we're not that way. Let's try to live up to that. Let's try to emulate the behavior of the Starfleet people.
I think one of the primary secrets of the success of Star Trek is its ability to look at the condition of humanity and develop stories that tell us about ourselves and explore issues that we're interested in.
Star Trek's continuing mission was furthered when Paramount gave the green light to a new series, Star Trek: The Next Generation, in 1987. The success of Captain Picard and his crew proved that Star Trek has gone beyond Kirk, Spock in the 23rd century.
There's something about just the nature of the format that Gene created. He created something that can basically go forever and has I mean, since the point at which he first came up with the idea. It's just the single best format for a television show, I think, that anyone's ever thought of.
Deep Space Nine, a third series launched in 1992, now takes audiences to the far reaches of the galaxy.
Star Trek is a legend, and there's no doubt about that. And the different installments help further that legend. And I'm a very lucky boy to be part of it.
In the next hour, we'll take you where no one has gone before. We're going behind the scenes of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Make it so.
We'll visit the set of Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
But you know who comes in to save the day? Just wait and see.
We'll watch the creation of new life forms. You'll meet the masterminds behind the special effects.
Well, the actors like it. I think it's fun.
And we'll clue you into the real secret behind Star Trek's success. And as an added bonus, I'll even take you along on the Star Trek experience of a lifetime. I'm not going alone. You're coming with me. Let's go. And we'll find out how this thing works later on in the show. But up next, E probes the alternate universe of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
No, you don't.